Hey guys, and welcome to Music Mondays, the one place for your weekly music fix. I'm your host Cameron and Rhys.
And I'm Sir Kills a lot, or as you know me, Rhys Peak.
So Rhys, what have you been listening to this week?
Well, ever since you mentioned them last week's show, I've just been listening to them constantly. It's the Kaiser Chiefs. They just got so many amazing songs.
That's true. A lot of people don't only know the Kaiser Chiefs, so those two songs that they were were really popular, but they have got a lot of good songs.
They got so many songs,
The lead singer as well he's very theatrical. If you go see him live, I recommend that if they ever do a live gig.
Yeah, you should, yeah.
I don't know if they're still making music. Are they still making music?
I'm not sure. They haven't been making them for about 3 years, I don't think.
Yeah, I think I went to see them about 2 years ago, and that was the release of their last album, and they've done nothing since. They haven't even done another tour.
No,
so yeah. I've been listening to Linkin Park, which maybe vary. This is going to split our audience. All three of them. Yeah, I don't know. I just love the earlier stuff. A lot of people, when they listen to Linkin Park, they reference the early stuff. The new stuff is, I don't know, it's not so much as worse, it's just nothing different. It just sounds like their old songs with different words. I don't know what it is.
I just don't like the new stuff, to be honest.
Yeah, I think ever since New Divide,
they've gone down.
they just downhill. But yeah, a lot of their old stuff I've been listening to, I can't really name, just albums, really. In the end, stuff like a Bleed It Out. Yeah, I listened to that once or twice. I haven't really listened to a lot of music, but that's just the most I've listened to this week.
I see.
Okay, we're going to move on to discussion.
Let's do this.
So this week's discussion is, should bands release their songs or albums on music games such as Guitar Hero and Rock Band before they release it to the public? The main evidence of this is the new Guns N' Roses album, Chinatown, that was released on the Rock Band, I think Rock Band 3 or 2.
I think so.
Before it was released to the public, so people had to play it on the game. Now it was like a day or two, or maybe a week, so it wasn't that long, but it was still a significant uprising against it. So, Rhys, what do you think about this?
Well, it does give, things like Rock Band and Guitar Hero a lot of revenue
gives
because of it. And it would give Guns N' Roses, that kind of band, more
publicity.
It would give it more albums sold.
I think, like you say, bands like Guns N' Roses, like popular bands, even though it was the Axl Rose Guns N' Roses, they've got an advantage and disadvantage. The advantage is that they can do that and get away with it because they can do that and people will just be like, well, their music is good. Well, some people will be like, they have a big following that they're just like, we'll wait for the album. But also, they're the type of people that if they do that, they'll kind of piss off fans who kind of want to be the first to hear it.
Yeah, they could do that. They could alienate some of them.
Yeah, because as popular as Rock Band and Guitar Hero are, there's still a lot of classic rock listeners who don't play those games, just mainly because they don't have the consoles, they don't have the money, and they just don't have the interest. I mean, I like Guitar Hero, we like Guitar Hero and Rock Band, but there's a lot of people who just like listening to the music, so it kind of alienates those fans, and it doesn't really work with low bands, like bands that
I don't think they could do that.
Because mainly the only advantage they get is they're going to get paid by Neversoft and whoever does the Rock Band games.
You could get more followers, or they could get more followers from that.
Yeah, but the whole... That's true, actually. Maybe it is favoured for them to do it, because a lot less
they
people...
would build up their fan base then from that.
Yeah, they must mean something. They must be a good band if they're really strong.
If they're on,
Right, so tell us what you think about this in the comments, or if you have a discussion that you want us to discuss, remember to email at manonfirefilms@hotmail.co.uk. So let's tell the people some music news.
Let's do this!
So there's this hard rock musical coming out called The Devil's Carnival, and it's kind of been, it's built up as like this big hard rock, like a lot of classic rock bands have been involved. Not really classic rock, more like modern rock, but like hard rock. I'm saying this completely wrong.
I literally have no idea what I'm on about.
There's basically this musical that's written, and it sounded pretty good when I was reading the article until I realised that it's going to be directed and I think written by the guy who did Saw 2 and 3 and 4.
Really?
What? First of all, movie director on a play, as much as they seem the same, they're completely different things.
So different.
Also, did you really... Watching Saw 2, I've never seen Saw 2, I've seen Saw 1.
I've seen Saw 2, I think I have.
Did you ever see someone sawing off his neck and then just start screaming like Slipknot? Just like singing randomly? I don't know, but
it's not a scream, but not the scream.
Yeah, that's true. There's not much of a differentiation.
It's just that's what you get.
But yeah, it's going to include people from Slipknot and the band Five Finger Death Punch and a couple of other rockers. But it just seems so surreal.
It does.
I don't think it's ever going to come to the UK, but
hopefully it doesn't.
If we have any fans in America and you happen to go see it, please comment below if it was a very odd experience.
And argumental.
I don't know, maybe fans of the Clown from Slipknot, because he's going to be in it, so yeah. Another obscure story, we had some weird stories this week. In a recent interview, the wrestler and actor Hulk Hogan, you might have heard of him, admitted that he might have been in Metallica. Apparently back when he was in college or something, he was friends with Lars Ulrich, who's the drummer for Metallica. He always has been, and he was one of the founding members. And apparently he was going to play bass for them.
Oh my god!
I'm really glad that he didn't.
Amazing.
But that is a funny image.
It would be highly unlikely that would be up there right now.
I know. Like you'd have Lars Ulrich, James Hetfield, and Dave Mustaine was the original guitarist, all like in black with like the piercings and the tattoos, and then there's just this guy in full like yellow with a handlebar mustache.
It's rocking up the beat.
So yeah, I found that quite surreal. He also went on in the interview to mention that he's a big fan of the Stone Roses, and then just kind of ranted about the Stone Roses. I didn't want to include. If you want to see the entire interview, I'll include a link on it. So we're going to go on to recommend the people some things.
Oh yeah!
So Rhys, what do you have to recommend for us today?
Well, today, Cameron, I'm gonna have to recommend. Is it Ed Sheeran's debut album?
Yeah, I think it's just called Ed Sheeran.
I think it's a debut album. It's just called Ed Sheeran, but it's a fantastic album.
Yeah.
There's obviously a lot of acoustic in it because that's his style.
There's a lot of with Ed Sheeran. There's a lot of like variety as well. Because you got like I Need You, which is it's got acoustic in it, but it sounds nothing like 18.
There's so many different amazing songs in it.
A lot of that album is like a lot of people would put off because like they've heard A-Team on the radio like 600 times.
They've really overplayed.
And it's kind of been thrown down their throats, but it's literally like it's not even in his top 5 songs.
No, it's not.
It was most like universally liked, which is why it's been released and stuff.
Why didn't he just release it as a single first off though?
I'm not sure. I think it was like it was either planned to be on the album and then he released it before the album because they thought.
So they were the Foo Fighters. They released what was it? What did they release first? They released.
Oh, dude. It's not Alejandra.
That's not even the thing or anything.
I can't remember. But
they released that one and that got played so many times.
Yeah, and then people were just kind of put off, but then it was the Foo Fighters. So
I was put off slightly, but I ended up, wait, it's the Foo Fighters.
that album, I've listened to it as well. Obviously, Rhys has listened to it a lot more, but I've liked what I've heard, and he's just released a new single, Drunk, which is also really good.
Yeah,
so
that's
on YouTube if you want to go see it.
Yeah, that's great.
So this week I'm going to recommend an album which my father got me when I was very young, which it didn't really make much sense, but I've been listening back to it, Meatloaf, Bad Out of Hell. Now, a lot of people are put off by Meatloaf because they've heard his new stuff, which is very operatic, he's getting into a lot of plays and stuff, but this is Meatloaf at pretty much the start of his career with some of the best songs. It's very rock and roll, very like Elvis-y, and I highly recommend if you like really old like rockin' like jams. I don't want to sound too stupid, but that's literally what it is.
Spiffing tunes.
So yeah, if that's what you're into, I highly recommend you check this out. And sadly, we've reached the end of the show.
Oh no!
That's episode 2 of Music Mondays, and remember, if you want us to include an extra segment where we mention a band that you may be part of or may know that is upcoming and wants a band spotlight, remember to email manonfirefilms@hotmail.co.uk and you might get an extra special segment. So yeah, I'm Cameron Morris.
I'm Sir Kills a Lot, so as you know me, re-speak, but no, Comics Sir Kills a Lot.
And remember to listen to good music.
Oh yeah! You have to play it,